Welcome everyone to another episode of Wildlife Photo Chat Video. As you can see, we have a different guest with us today, or added guest, bonus guest. This is Lily, Brad's daughter. How's it going, Lily?
Good. It's going good.
Excellent. Big episode, guys. Get ready. All right. It's been almost 2 weeks since we've recorded, just based on my schedule, Brad's schedule, and everything like that. So we have a ton to go over. Brad and I, actually Brad's whole family, me and Emilie, got a chance to go and photograph puffins again almost 2 weeks ago. Don't worry, guys. We're not going to puffin you out this time. Brad and I are going to skip the puffins. Him and I have talked about that enough, but you can't escape the puffins quite yet, because Lily got to have her first time photographing puffins, and that's why she's here. She's here to share about that experience. So thank you so much, Lily, for joining us and coming on the show to share about this. I can't wait to hear from you in a little bit. Excellent. All right. So here's what else is coming up on the show today, guys. Like I said, it's a big show. So Brad, after the puffin thing with his family, Brad went and shot some shorebirds and caribou, both in his local area, and he got to travel a little bit for it. I'm just looking at my list here. There's a lot to go over. I couldn't remember it all. Emilie and I spent 4 days with shorebirds, caribou, and fox kits. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Then I ran my caribou workshop. So I had 4 people come in here to Newfoundland to do a workshop with the caribou and the foxes and some moose, which was really cool. Let's see. We got a couple little follow-up things that I'll get to in just a second from previous episodes that I want to touch on, which is great. We're getting some wonderful interaction from everybody, so thank you so much for that. Then there's a lens announcement that came out in this past couple weeks, which was Sigma announced their 200mm f2 lens. We aren't going to have time to talk about it this episode, but since it's kind of current news, I wanted to mention it and then let you know we're going to talk about that next episode. So come back for that one. But
it looks good.
Yeah, it does. And this is something we're going to be doing a little bit more on the show, is if there's like some more current events, kind of announcements, gear changes, things like that, we want to try and chat a little bit about that. So we have that coming up next week. We got to pick our or share our picks from last week's Wildlife Photo Chat Challenge, which was the low-key challenge.
Low light.
Yes, so we got those to share as well. And then we're going to announce this week's Wildlife Photo Chat Challenge. So all that coming up in the show. So let's get right into it. We got a ton of images to show as well. But first, let's do this follow-up from the last episode. It was from the episode where the high key challenge went out. And so from YouTube user, the Andy Tortoise, we had asked about why wildfire smoke makes the colors look so great. And there's a straightforward answer there, actually. And we knew it. We knew somebody would be able to inform us, right? Which is great.
We were too lazy to Google it.
Exactly. I know. Exactly, right? It's the simplest thing, but I actually love when we get that feedback from people. So
same.
Andy, the Andy Tortoise says, smoke makes the sun more orange because smoke particles are larger than air molecules and scatter the light in something called MIE scattering. So I don't know if it's whatever, scattering, which removes shorter wavelengths like blue more efficiently than longer wavelengths like red and orange. Smoke also contains carbon compounds which absorb blue light. You just end up with more orange and red wavelengths in the light to see. So there you go. That's the explanation. And see,
you're learning something.
Pretty cool, right? Yeah, it's kind of neat. And yeah, sure, of course. Now it makes sense. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, and I'll forget it the next time this happens. No,
right?
I think I'll remember it. And then I also wanted to share about this. This was really cool. So last Sunday, so 4 or 5 days ago, I did a live show on YouTube, my first live show in a very long time. I'm happy it actually went successful. Starling for the win on that one. And I shared about my top 100 puffin photos. During that show, one of the YouTube watchers, let's see, who was it? It was... It's Will Lee, YouTube user It's Will Lee, shared a comment about the movie called Listers. And it's a movie by Owen Reiser. And it's all about extreme bird listers. So, check listers using eBird and stuff like that at kind of like the highest level. Here's the overview, right? These 2 brothers had never done birding and then all of a sudden decided to do a big year within the continental US.
Oh, wow.
And they went hard. They were trying to be like top Bert, right? That was like a goal.
Top.
They went crazy,
Wow.
right? So I won't share any more details about it. It's an amazing, amazing show. I'll include a link to it in the notes for this episode for anybody interested. But it's just called Listers. I think it's like Listers, like Extreme Birding or Extreme Bird Checklisting or something like that. But amazingly well shot, amazingly well edited. The characters in the show are incredible. The personalities are amazing. It's really, really fun. And me and Emilie kept being like, we can relate to so many of these things, even though we don't do that. There were still parts of it that as like bird and wildlife photographers, you really relate to, which was really cool.
No doubt. That's cool.
All right, I think that's everything. And so let's get into it here. So we're going to start the show with our lovely guest, Lily, there. And so let me bring up some of these photos here so you guys can get a good look at what she got to do on her first time. Am I correct, Brad? Basically her first time doing wildlife photography?
Yeah, it was.
Dude, first time, like we went.
First time holding a camera.
Yeah, I think we went for a hike like earlier in the season when I was doing like a little bit of like songbird scouting, and we went for a little walk, and I had like the 100 to 400 with the Z9 on. And she was like, oh, I'd love to, like, because I think I had a little point and shoot camera with, and she was like, oh, it's not focusing, not this. So I said, well, here, why don't you actually try it? So I think we were photographing like a little...
like a little spruce tree or something. Because
I was like, oh, if a white-throated sparrow landed up on this, like this is what you would do.
And you were giving hypotheticals.
So she literally did hypotheticals. Yeah, exactly, right? Because I wasn't good enough to get a bird. No, it was early in the season. So, so that was literally the first time she touched it, but it was like she shot 5 pictures, and that was it.
So we can so officially call this the first time.
Exactly. Yeah,
and it really shows. I mean, this is completely mediocre first time no, this is amazing, amazing stuff. It's so incredible, Lily. Like, congratulations on this.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll leave it up to you, Brad. Go ahead and tell us about this experience, man. And Lily. Yeah, so just to kind of like give an overview. So Ray had reached out to us like out of the blue and was like, yeah, you know, we're going to head back to Bonavista Vista this weekend. Like, it'd be lovely if you guys could show up, and you know, it wasn't on our like radar at all to really even like do much that weekend. So Joe and I quickly scrambled, found a place to stay, and made it happen. It almost didn't happen because of all the wildfires and everything that was basically happening. So it was like one morning, the morning before, we were like definite no. Then all the conditions changed. We're like, no, we're going. And you know, prior to this, Lily had hinted about, you know, I'd love to go do some photography. And you mentioned to me like a couple times, you were like, oh, I'd love to get out with you or sometime. And things just kind of never really materialized in that sense. But going, I was like, oh, would you want to do any photography? And you were like
100%, yeah.
100%. Because I was like, are you going to sure you want to get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning?
Yeah.
I don't really care.
She was like, I'm in. I'm fully in.
I think she had more energy than us every morning than like the rest of us.
I did, actually.
Yeah. Like every morning I'd go in, like, so we were staying in this little cabin. Every time I go knock on the door, I'm like, okay, Lily, it's time to get up. I was thinking like, oh, leave me alone. She's like, okay. Popped up, like dressed, like ready to go, right? Super excited about it. So the first, we ended up driving out shortly after I got off work. We didn't arrive till, you know, it was like 2 hours before sunset or something like that. So we went out to one of our like favorite locations just to look at the beautiful view, just to kind of take it in. And that location sometimes has puffins, sometimes doesn't. And so I think we hiked far out, and it was more just like a casual like evening just to kind of like catch up with you guys. We did manage to see a couple puffins, but you know, like the light was kind of like really dim at that point. And I said, Lily, like, just hold off. Like, this is probably not going to be the best place to kind of start. And then, so then we got up that next morning. We went to the main colony because that's like one of the best spots from Ray and I's experience. Like over the years, it's like that's the go-to. So yeah, when we walked out, I think there was like 1 or 2 puffins, and I was like, here you go, Lily. Like, and so, you know, very thankful, Ray. You know, I had brought my old D850.
That's what this is on.
You know, whatever. But like, yeah, so, that's true. I did give you the D850 at first. You're absolutely right. So, so when we walked out, like, it was like, here's light, Lily. Like, here you go. Right?
Hey, Lily, do you remember shooting you remember shooting your dad's camera first and then the one we let you borrow?
I
The
actually
weight, maybe?
don't think I remember, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't think
All
I
right.
remember.
You've blocked it
Everything
out
was
because it
just
was so not fun to shoot.
Yeah, it was. Well, the thing was, like, I mean, do you even know, like, that D850 and the 7200, like, it's a heavy-ish setup. Like, it's a
chunky.
little bit of a, it's chunky, right? So we walked out. There was, like, puffins right away, and I was
Yeah.
like, here you go, Lily. Like, have at it. Like, see what you can do. So then, I think we shot one or two puffins kind of like in this, like, pastel-y kind of light that was starting to happen.
Yeah.
And then, thankfully enough, I think the few puffins hung around, and then the light just started to come. And then I was just like, oh, okay, Lily, like, this is the kind of light to shoot. So basically, I was like, I think she still stayed with
Let's
Ray. If
see.
you can just double check.
That's still D850. Then this
It's still
switched
8D.
over. So at some point throughout that was the switch.
Yeah, so I think you even said, like, that's a bulky, like, here, give her this setup, because then she could
Yeah.
zoom right in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Yeah. So then, so, like, for me, if there's any light that I can kind of wish for is like this backlit bokeh, like, streaming off of the water. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, okay, I got to get Lily on this, get her set up with the light, and then basically just, like, hone in on all this and just kind of show her, like, when the light is super, super dull, like, when it's not super, super bright that's coming off. So she was able to shoot.
The pinky, like, orangey light, like, that was the first time I ever shot, like, bokeh light.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very proud of it,
Was
to
it?
be honest, because you got me.
Was it cool seeing it through the screen? Like you could see it in the viewfinder, right? The sparkly craziness happening. Yeah.
So when you switched over to Ray's camera, right? Remember I said you can see the actual light, right? You can see the effect. Yeah. Which
That's
is really
awesome.
neat.
Yeah. Lily,
Yeah, I was like, wow.
how did that camera feel for you? Did it feel like it was a good size? Was it comfortable to use, that setup that we had given you that you used most of the time?
I found it was comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't too heavy, like, at all. Like, I felt like it was light. It was light compared to, like, what we used when I shot the tree my first time.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely lighter.
Well, that's cool. That's really nice to know that it was like a good fit for you and it felt pretty comfortable. So for everybody listening to, if you are watching, if you can't see, it was the Z6 III paired up with the 28 to 400, and we chose that because we didn't want to have to, figure like messing around switching lenses and stuff. And like and there was plenty of times, Brad, where you were guiding her and you're going to talk more about that. But there was plenty of times where she was just kind of like doing her own thing because you were shooting. And so we figured this lens would just do it all,
Yep. Yeah, there was many times when basically she was working a couple puffins and like, in kind of close or whatnot. And I was like, okay, I've taught you enough or given you enough kind of things. You just play around. I'd move off with another one. Because, I mean, we've experienced this too at workshops. Like, you don't want to just hover over someone and be like, do this, do this, do this. Like, you almost got to let them breathe a bit. And, especially where it was your first time, I didn't want to
overwhelm.
Like, you kind of want to fumble and you want to fail and you want to explore. And, I don't want to dictate every choice that she's kind of making with it. So I was just like, here's kind of an idea with this kind of setup and then just kind of go with it. So, I mean, even those 3 shots, I mean, you essentially shot them.
I did.
Yeah. Like she just made her own choices on like if she was going to put them to the right or left or in the center of it and then getting the different exposures, right?
Hey, Lily, I got a question for you. What do you think was the hardest thing about taking all these photos? Like, do you remember feeling like there was a challenge or anything that was particularly difficult? Was it like focus or getting the settings right?
It was definitely like focusing.
Yeah.
Especially when we were doing the in-flight, like trying to keep the focus and stuff.
Yeah.
I found focus was definitely the hardest part of it.
Gotcha.
And especially also when the puffin was like walking and you were trying to keep the light behind the puffin.
Yep. Yeah, because they don't stay in the same place, right? You got to keep moving with them. Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, at one point, there was, like, these really nice rays.
Yeah, we'll show those after. Yeah, we'll show those after. Yeah, we'll talk about those.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even with that, when you got the harsh light in the back time and it's kind of like moving and stuff like that, like sometimes the camera's, it's got that trouble to kind of focus and it moves around and stuff.
I mean, amazing. Really like the stuff is really nailed. It's absolutely nailed,
Right? Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful details.
And I mean, the thing is too, I think, in some cases, I think a lot of times we had her set up on aperture priority, probably auto ISO and stuff, but there were occasions where I switched her over to manual. I think when the light was like, when the light was kind of that pastel-y and you want to kind of go lower with the shutter speeds and stuff. But I think majority was like aperture priority, but just to make it a little bit easy. But so I think at one point too, I was, I didn't have time to really kind of get into talking about all the technical, jargon and kind of like explain stuff. So I used to always say,
we're in it. Like there's birds.
I felt bad at first. I was like,
she's shooting.
You go. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So at one point I was like, look, just roll the dial in the front. And I'm like, that's when it go lighter or darker. So I used to say to her, probably a good time to go a little bit darker or probably try to go a little bit lighter or something like that and see what these are like. So I was like, if I get into saying exposure and exposure compensation, all this stuff, she's just going to be like, what are you talking about?
I mean, check it out,
nice
right?
To kind of see.
Yeah, negative exposure comp there where it needed to go silhouette, a little bit lighter here, bumping that up. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's awesome. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
There with like the rock in front, that's kind of when I was experimenting, like I was trying to tuck him behind the rock almost, and like that was when we were kind of closer to the edge, I guess. And there were these two puffins that were almost on top of my feet, like they were so close to me.
Yeah, we got like a little video here. We'll watch it while you're talking about it.
Yeah, so I was basically had the rock in front and I was trying to tuck him in behind, and I was kind of just experimenting with it, but they were so close to me. I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, they're so close to me.
When that happened, do you feel like, were you still really trying to take the photos, or do you remember just kind of like putting the camera aside and just watching them?
At first, I did put the camera aside and just watch them, but then I was like, okay, I want to try and get some pictures out of this as well.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
That's the first time you've been that close to puffins before. Like we've gone out for a visit to Bonavista before, but it was never for shooting or whatever, and just kind of hanging out. And we've had them come on the mainland, but like for her to actually have them, like I think at one point it was like almost like on your foot.
Yeah. Like I was like trying to keep my feet and legs so still because I did not want to spook them.
No, that's smart.
I was like, you're so close to my feet.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, and I think at one point you were like, give her the wide. And that's when I think at one point we did switch her to that 28-400.
Oh, yes. Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure we gave her a wide or something for a few seconds because it was like so close. Like she couldn't shoot with the 70-200 at that point. Right.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's when we might have switched over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was nice. Yeah, and I think then we just kind of like, after a while, we went and kind of explored a little bit and shot around. Like I think at that point too, we went down to that, to like almost like the beginning when you kind of walk in.
Oh,
to that puffin area. And we shot a few puffins in that location before we kind of wrapped up.
Yeah.
And I think that was, so it was really nice for just to get some clean portraits as well.
I mean, look at the background line up there. Like, that's so good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
had like a bunch of photos where the background did not line up at all with him, but that's one where it did line up.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome to the club. Yeah, we all do that.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Yeah. That's part of it, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So then I think it was like the next morning then we had, so I think it was like started off as like a quietish kind of like morning. There wasn't a whole lot happening. And then dude, it was just like, I remember, and I think you were doing like some video stuff at that point or whatever with the rays, and then it just kicked off. So we were just like, we were in a mad scramble, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. Yeah. It was like from one side to the other. And I remember like, since the puffins would be walking and the rays would like slowly move, I found it hard kind of to just shuffle on the ground. So what I did is I kind of got this technique where I would almost like roll over on my back and then back onto my stomach to move.
Nice.
With the like light and the puffins.
Yeah, something only a kid
It was really
can do.
neat because she'd be like, I'm doing a roll. Yeah, exactly, right?
We'd
Yeah,
get so beat up and hurt on the rocks, bruised and everything.
Exactly. Well, I think too, she found like the lens was like, it still was a little bit heavy. So it was like hard to move with that and kind of like crawl across sideways. So she was like, look, Dad, she's like, and she would just do this like big roll. I'm like, you're hilarious. It's like,
that's
they're
awesome.
moving again, better roll.
Well, you were talking about this earlier, Lily. You were mentioning the rays. Was this a favorite moment from the time there? Did you really love when this happened?
Yeah, I did like with all the rays and stuff. It was just gorgeous, to be honest.
What was it?
Experience with like all the rays.
What was
and
it that
stuff.
you liked so much about that?
I think it was just beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Yeah, look.
And I mean, I guess the thing is too, like, and I guess the thing is too, like, you know, when we're looking through with our eyes, like you said, it's like a 35 mil lens kind of like view, like it's this wide scale. But then when you can zoom in, right, it's so cool because I know she was playing around with like you zoom in and get close and then wide. So it's neat to see it through a lens and be able to like magnify, right, to see how big the rays are and get a feel for it. So yeah, that was a really cool. It was crazy.
Yes, it was crazy. It was very hectic.
Did you like
just like going from one side to the next? And
Did you like when things were hectic like that and kind of like keep going and crazy and fun and shooting, or did you like when it slowed down a little bit and you got to kind of take your time and really appreciate the puffins?
I kind of liked it both because like when it was hectic it was like fun and you were getting all these shots and like adrenaline was up, but then sometimes it'd also be very tiring and you're like, oh, I gotta go over here now, I gotta go over there. So then sometimes it was nice to just be chill and be able to just like, you know, just take some photos.
Totally. Yep. No, I feel the same way. Yeah, I love those moments where it's crazy, but then you can only do that for so long before, just like you said, it's exhausting, like both in your mind, like because you're thinking so much and it's crazy. Yeah, totally. That's awesome.
Yeah, there was one point we were scrambling back and forth, and then even she looked at me and she was like, I'm like, okay, let's. Like, I realized I'm like, we've kind of like bounced around. Let's just slow down now. Like you got shots, like, but dude, you know your own self. Like we've experienced, it's fleeting moments. It's no different than when like a rainbow pops off. It's almost like, oh, this, you know, it's going to last for a short period. And when you've got like those super thick clouds, it's like you want to take full advantage because in a blink of an eye, as fast as they came, they're gone. Yeah. Like there's, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to see them. So it's almost like take full advantage. Go, go, go. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Yeah.
And so then she knocks it out of the park with a killer small and frame shot right off the bat. Right. Like, why not? Just perfect placement.
Well, dude, it was like one of those moments where it was like, okay, she shot bokeh, she shot just plain portrait, like we've done, you know, like crazy rays. So I think at one point, things were like kind of a little bit slow or whatnot. And
you brought me up onto kind of like the hill-ish that was there. And there were like two there. And then this one was there. And you were like, take a shot of that one, you know? Yeah. And go wide. And then I did. And I'm like, it looks nice.
Yeah, because we had this one little guy and he kept going back and forth, kind of like traversing that little edge. And at one point he slowly came up, started to come up. I'm like, Lily, just like go 20 or go wide. I don't know what she went. So she did 34. Yep. So that's like perfect. And yeah, we luckily got him coming in close enough. And I mean, the placement is like, dude, like, I mean, how hard did I work to get like shot like this for so long? And then she's like, yeah, I'll just crush it. Yeah. Right. Perfect placement. So
it's so fun.
She did really, really well.
Then we had the flight stuff.
And then her favorite
flight shot.
So, dude, I have to say, so I don't know if you heard. So there was a number of times where, you know, we'd all be standing around and like things weren't like crazy happening with any on the mainland so much. And she kept saying, I love to try in-flight. And I don't know why. I was just like, there's no way. Like, there's no way she's going to get them. How am I going to get her to do it? She just touched the camera. It's the first time. But she was pretty persistent. And, yeah, I think Ray was doing the videos that night. And the light was good. And you looked at me and you were like, let's go. I want to go shoot in-flight.
Uh-huh. So it was very hard tracking them. But, like, I found tracking them when they were like really small and far out was easiest, because then you could like really track them when they were coming in.
Yeah.
I found.
Yeah.
It was very hard though, because sometimes like I have like a bunch of shots where it's just like the blue sky, because like sometimes you would be like, oh look, there's one like coming over your head, and I just take the camera and I just be like clicking, just randomly clicking, just hoping I would get something. I don't think I did, but I got that one.
It doesn't work out, right?
Amazing. Yeah.
Well, the light on this one is outstanding. Some of my favorite light. I was just talking with my clients this morning. We had this light and we had gulls flying in front of it. Not quite as cool as puffins, but that golden light shining in on the subject, stormy, dramatic background sky, nailed the exposure. I love, it's so cool that you got like negative exposure compensation dialed in there. It's amazing. Love it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'm going through all these different shots, like just calling through with her, and I'm like how do you track that? Like, you know what I mean? For someone to literally be just the first time picking this up.
Impressive.
And I mean, she's tracking for way out, go all the way right to the colony, and I'm like, wow. And like I said, she got a nice view, and I think like one of her favorite ones was the one with the rainbow.
The golden
That's
light
super
one.
cool.
Because I remember it was like the puffin was really far out, and instead of it going like straight to the like colony, it went like around us, and the sun was behind us, and I just kept on tracking it, and I was like, I think I might have gotten it next to the sun, and then when we looked back through and I saw it, I was like, oh my god, I got it. He has a fish, which I was really hoping to get like a picture of a puffin flying with a fish, because that's amazing. And then the rainbow in the cloud, I was just like, how did I get a rainbow in the cloud? Like, I didn't even notice that.
That's so cool. Yeah. Isn't that great when you get these photos and you get to see things that you didn't even notice when you were there? I was just going to say, because I never saw these, like this rainbow in the cloud like that. I was probably never even looking that way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
so I mean, like, she just, and then even with the cormorant one, like, composition wise, like,
awesome
that
foreground.
one worked out really well. So she had she had a blast with doing that. I'm glad that she continually pushed, because I was like, no, it's going to be too crazy hard. But yeah, she proved me wrong big time.
Here's a favorite. I saw that one. I was like, oh, damn, there's an image, like just right up my alley right there. Yeah. Like,
oh, this is a Ray Hennessy. Actually, dude, because when we first, so that particular morning when the light was starting to come up, at first originally we were like, oh, okay,
we were trying to get them more like on the main island.
Like,
like we saw there. But then we saw the sun was coming up, and you were like, why don't we try to like compose it, so then like we can get one like on that edge of the colony. So I got it.
yeah, you did. Yeah.
And I mean, and at that point, like the light, I mean, it was too harsh for anyone that kind of landed on the mainland anyways. Yeah. And I think at that point I think the ones that we did have stayed just for like a brief.
It was a weird morning.
Couple seconds. Yeah. It was, it was like super, super calm. And like, so the two on the right-hand side, like that's what we had at the beginning. And then we moved over to the colony, and she was able to line a few up there. Just sitting on the edge. So those were like, she was super excited with those to get the sun in the frame as well.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. What an amazing experience. Amazing. Like, amazing set of photos. I'm sure you have others too. Like, this is just the selected stuff that you narrowed down just for this. Lily, what was it like looking through all those photos? And can you share, how many did you take? Do you know how many total you took?
I think I took around 8,000.
Right? It's so funny. Dude, I think I regret, because at first she was very modest. She was very like just taking like, one or two shots. And I said, well, like, in a moment happens, like kind of press down on it. Like let it take a few frames, because, like shakiness and stuff, like it'll help get some shots. I think I regret after, because after that she was like hammering down every second.
Yeah. That's so good. Oh, that's really cool. And so out of these that you have here, Lily, what's your favorite photo? Is it that one flying through the rainbow, or is there another one?
Yeah, the one flying with the rainbow.
Nice.
Definitely. Like, The one with the cormorant, I think, flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the cormorant. Yeah.
I didn't even know I had that until we looked through my images. I was like, I didn't even know I had that.
Yeah, you shot so much you
spray
forgot
and
what you
pray
took.
moments, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
What was it like photographing with your dad? Were you glad he was there for that?
Yeah, definitely. Because you did guide me through a lot of it, and you helped me a lot with taking it.
For sure. And I think the thing is, like, but there's a big realization, I think, with, you know, running workshops and doing, and helping other people and guiding them. Like, Ray, I know your own self, like, you can fill people's heads with information and knowledge and guide them as much as you want. But, like, in the end, like, it's how you compose the image, how you decide to put the bird right or left and make little subtle adjustments, because especially when you're zoomed in with a telephoto lens, like, there's all these micro adjustments that make a big difference. So, you know, as much as I did help you, like, these are your shots. Like,
yeah, true.
Well, and I think there's another big lesson that I sort of took away from it when I first saw these, and that was just, you know, an hour ago when I imported them, you know, because you hadn't really shown them, and I tried not to look at them, and I was also insanely busy. But there's sort of a takeaway that I got from this, which is, you know, tying it to our workshops and our clients and the people that join us, is the more of an open mind you have, I feel like you might get a little bit more out of it. So, you know, for everybody attending a workshop, if you can just attend it and go in with like the most open mind possible of, I'm going with this person, and like, I think you should choose a workshop, and not just me or the one that Brad and I do. Whoever you're choosing to go with, you should choose them because you really respect that photographer and admire what they're doing. And if you can just kind of approach with this attitude of open-mindedness, and I will maybe not forget everything, but like, you know, try not to be stuck in my ways and experiment with what they suggest and see what I connect with and what I like. I think, like, for me, the lesson here was seeing, like, look at this body of work that Lily did, because she had no preconceived notions. She had no set ways that she's been doing for years and like got stuck shooting the same thing. Like, there's a ton of variety here and diversity and different compositions and focal lengths and lighting, and all done with, I'm not going to say basic kit, right? But like, certainly not the most high. Let's call it like mid-range kit. And it's incredible photography. And I think a big part of that is certainly your guidance, Brad. But I think the other big part of that is Lily just came into it with an open mind, you know, and just like approached it with that and was just like, let's see what we can do here. And amazing stuff is what you can do.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think
welcome.
you make a really good point, man. I really do. I think, you know, having that, like, not your own style, setting your own ways, like, and because I think you and I shoot so many different styles and so much, you know, so many different focal lengths that I think, you know, if people are open to it, yeah, like, there's so much you can kind of learn and be and dabble in and try, and it's not for everyone. Wide is not always for someone. In-flights aren't always for certain people, but yeah. If you're just open to play around, which Lily did, like, you did a lot, played around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Lily, do you think you'd take that many photos next time?
Probably.
Nice. Did you like looking through them all? Was that a fun process as well?
It was fun to see like what like I got that I didn't realize I had gotten, but then also sometimes it was boring because it was just like a bunch of like the same photos or like just random photos that were like in focus or anything like that.
Brad, was it fun to look through them all with your daughter?
It was same thing, like you said, like seeing that, but knowing how much I have to call to go through, so I'm not eating up drive space. But yeah, it was just really, it was mind blowing. It was like,
it had to be such a proud moment for sure.
Yeah, like, just wild to be like, wow, like, you know, I think for me it's just a realization. It wasn't just she was just randomly taking shots for the sake. There was thought in them. Yeah. There's something more than, you know, I think you and I speak about it. Like, sometimes people just have an eye for stuff. Like they can compose and they see certain things. And I truly believe that she's got that. And I'm hoping to like push it. You know, I'm the type of parent that's like, I never want to push anything that I'm interested in onto Lily. Like I let her be open. And if she sees me doing something and wants to take interest in it, like, well, you know, we run together sometimes because she enjoys that. But photography, she's kind of sparked this a little bit of an interest. So now I'm like, okay, perfect. If you'd like to come try it, and I think she really, really does love it. I think we're planning on going out tomorrow morning. I think.
I was going to ask Lily, are you gonna go again soon?
Yeah, tomorrow morning, right? Yeah.
Nice.
Where are we going?
So I think we're just gonna head to one of my favorite lakes, but it's one of these like. You know, there's a nice few variety of birds, from shorebirds to waterfowl. You get some terns sometimes. So I think it'll just kind of give her like I said to her, it's not always like this. There's days you go out, you don't see anything.
Yep.
Like I think we spoiled her a little bit, but I think she's excited to see what else is out there and kind of create some more memories. So it'll be fun.
No, that's awesome.
Take like pictures of more different like varieties of birds and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then you get to see what you like, right? Like some things you might like and other things you might not, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, that'll be fun. Well, I look forward to seeing some more photos from you, and I hope that you stick with it for a little bit, you know, if you like it, and as long as it keeps being fun, I hope it's something you get to keep doing, because obviously you got a great mentor and a great dad there. It was really cool to see you both out there and, you know, I see you having so much fun, Lily, and Brad seeing you just like watching her do this. I could tell like it was such a wonderful moment for both of you. So it was cool to be there and be a part of that. And I'm glad we got to loan you some gear that was like comfortable to shoot and fun. And Brad, sorry, we might be costing you more money by doing that, but
you certainly have. Yep. You certainly have.
Yeah. But yes,
but it was special.
Yeah, it certainly was. So, thanks for sharing your experience with us, Lily. I really appreciate you coming on the show. It's been amazing to see these photos and maybe we'll see some more in the future, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get her back on again and go through some more shots. Yeah. See what she's like in a year from now. Mark the date.
Right?
And we'll
see
Better
where
than
she's at.
Us. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Bird photographer of the year or something.
Well,
awesome.
Anything else either of you want to add before we move on?
No, I think I'm good. I do want to say thanks again for like loaning the gear and actually capturing some of the moments, you know, because like without you guys there, I probably wouldn't have been able to get some of those behind the scenes moments. So it's even nice because you get caught up in all the, you know, shooting and everything happening that to look back now and reflect on some of it. It's really nice to have those moments.
I really love that right there. Like that's super cool. Just like both of you lighting it up there. Her shooting better than you, Brad. It's awesome.
Of course.
Oh, great stuff. Well, Lily, thank you so much. We'll let you go. Have some fun. And we're going to continue on with the show, okay?
All right.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. We'll see you in a year.
We'll see you in a year.
All right. So that was awesome. Really cool stuff. And, you know, I certainly don't have that to relate to. Obviously don't have children, but I'm sure many of you out there do. And it's got to be like an interesting thing. I think like you said, Brad, I would think most parents are probably generally approaching it that way of like, you know, I don't want to push my kid, but then, you know, if they're around it, they're absorbing it. And I meant to say earlier, I bet that's a big part of why she sort of has this eye developed, right? She's been looking at your photography for a long time. I know you've shared stories with me, and I think even on our podcast in the past about, you know, she's sitting over your shoulder sometimes and you're asking opinion and she's like seeing this work. So, you know, even when it's not consciously like, hey, learn this, it's just being absorbed and you know, it kind of seems like it came out there in this experience, you know?
Well, and it's funny you bring it up because there's been so many times where I've showed her images and she's pointing out things and I'm like, oh, wow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, getting critique, but a realization that like she's got a good eye for this.
that's
Like
cool.
she actually sees things in an image that are either distracting or why did I do this or Dad, you're taking the same pictures, like do better kind of thing. So
that's awesome. Well, I'm glad she came on the show. That was awesome, man. It was such a cool experience.
I appreciate that. It was.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about. Let's get to it. Dude, these are killer shots, man. I love all of them, but that bottom one with the splashing waves, like, awesome stuff.
Well,
dude.
So I've just been like continuing this whole like Ruddy Turnstone shorebird not far from my house kind of project. And on this particular evening, it was like crazy windy, dude. And it was like the winds coming from like the north. So it was just like, even when I was lit down on the beach, it was just blowing water just straight across everything. So there was like a lot of drama happening, and I think the day prior there was like that stormy weather, so it blew up like a bunch of seaweed up on this beach. So I was like, perfect. Did your type of technique, dig a hole, bury the lens down in as far as I could, because I knew once the light was going to hit all that bokeh, it was going to be like perfect. So
and he
so
takes
just go
out
back
the
to
1 to 4. Oh,
right? Yeah, I had the 1 to 4 on that one. So what's your feeling on this? I love it because of the different layers of bokeh, like things are getting all hit, like, but I just didn't know if it was like too much distraction or if he didn't stand out as much.
you know what it is, dude? I think the larger it is, the better. Larger on the screen, right?
Yeah,
the smaller it
that's
is,
what I realized.
I'm not noticing. It feels just like a big white section back there, but when I view it full screen, it's like like it's the wave coming in. Like you're getting the sense of place there.
Yep.
You're seeing that crashing wave coming in, and obviously, the bird stands out more. So like it's funny how that happens, man. We've seen it countless times,
isn't it?
And talked about it on the show in the past. But like how photos can just be different, like the size they're viewed on, you know what I mean? Which makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. So that, like I said, that outing was just like chaos, dude. It was like, so this one particular one, this full, like beautiful, because a lot of times we get juvies that come through. So it's nice when you get that like almost like full plumage, like really looking, good looking turnstone. So so the waves kept coming in and the tide was rising.
Okay.
As I was like lid there. So I had locked into this one spot and I'm like, I'm not moving. Like, this is like perfect. So dude, I literally, by the end, I was dripping. Like I was having to put my head in towards the wave and turn my camera to my body so the camera wasn't getting blocked. So, but it was just like, and I haven't had a chance to go through all of them, but that bottom one, when that wave came up and kind of crashed, got lit up, then you get the foreground boat. I was super stoked. I was like, oh, that was like, I couldn't ask for better too. Like, it's so nice when you have crazy conditions that you can kind of encapsulate into an image. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when you look at that, there's drama, there's wave, there's light, there's like, it's so difficult. Sometimes you walk away and you're like, oh yeah, like there was a lot of drama happening, but I didn't really get, like, it looks like it was a calm day or something. You know what I mean?
Totally. So like clarity,
if you look at the image prior. Yeah.
And like Christmas and light, it's clean, it's beautiful. But man, this just has so much more story to it. So everybody watching, what's your favorite? 1, 2, or 3?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I'd love to hear.
Yeah, I would love to hear as well. And I think I get it, right? There's different reasons why people gravitate towards different things. And I know you, as the light snob, probably, and I mean that as a compliment, probably gravitate towards the top right one. Because to me that's like the most interesting with the light. But overall shot, that bottom one has just got so much of a story, so much more powerful. Like,
it does.
When you look at them as a set like this, I almost feel like I'm pulling towards that top right one because it's just so vivid and rich, right? But as an individual, when I see this on its own, right, just by itself like that clean, it's so much more powerful, more emotion there. I love it, man.
I agree.
Yeah, killer stuff.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
So then I ended up, so we usually every year I do an annual trip. It's basically for caribou. Usually around the end of August, we've got some big stags that kind of move through Terrenceville. It can be hit or miss sometimes. I've had success, so I'm very grateful for that. It's a massive area. You've been out there, Ray, like the big open barrens. Yeah. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I've built up enough knowledge. I kind of have an idea where they were too. So going out there, I think the first evening, it was like we drove through. It was a little bit later. Oh, no, sorry. We went the next day. That's true. It was the next morning that we left. But anyways, going through, I kind of, to drop my family off, like I was looking around. I didn't see any caribou. It was windy. I was like, it's probably nothing really going to happen. I did notice that there were a bunch of shorebirds around because Lily and I kind of went out that evening to just kind of like, like she likes going looking for sea glass and driftwood and everything. So I was like, found this really nice grouping of semi-palmated plovers. I'm like, I'm going back there. I want to play around with them. I haven't photographed them in a while. So headed out to this like beachy area that kind of like blocks off the main bay from coming into like another body of water. So they were just kind of like feeding along there. Nice. So I kind of worked with this small group, tucked myself in. The water was fairly calm. So they were just basically like coming back and forth. They would take flight sometimes, go out over the ocean, come back in. You do the typical, I'm just going to lay here, let the shorebirds come to me.
Yeah.
So this couple semi-palmated plovers were coming. Then I think this spotted sandpiper came in. Like this guy was super curious. He kept coming like super close.
I love
got
this.
Some really nice
fluffed out,
right?
Yeah,
fluffed out. Like looks like he had been doing some really good eating lately.
For sure.
Just like looking super big. Exactly.
This though.
So then, so as they were coming back and forth, and I believe when I went out, I grabbed the 500 and I just grabbed my 24 to 70. I don't know exactly why, because I don't remember going back to the vehicle. So I kind of had that. I think I was maybe thinking about doing it because the clouds were so nice.
Yeah.
So they would push in towards me and then stop, but like only like a few feet away. And I'm like, wonder if I move back, just give them just enough room and tuck in and shoot like a wide angle shot, I can get them kind of passing in front of me. So dude, at first I went 24, was like, okay, focused on a rock. I'm like, okay, here. Well, dude, they would come like even 3 or 4 of them and they would like, I'm telling you, like 2 feet away, just stop. And they were like,
really?
We're not going anywhere closer. Oh yeah. They would just not go. Like, I guess there was like a gap of maybe a foot and it was too close. So what I had done too was, this was like on the beach was kind of like the shoreline was sloping down and then it was water. So there was no, like, I couldn't get that flat feel to it. So I would have to like dig a hole for my arm. Like I was digging like a pit basically and put my arms and lens to try to get like a little bit more of a better kind of like, eye level to the water kind of feel. But I was also doing it to dig myself in and then throw my hood that I had on my like camo jacket, bury my face down. So they thought I was just like a log or just something on the beach. I would kind of see them from the corner of my eye, but I would just lock in and basically look through the viewfinder. I'm like, this is the comp. They walk in. It's going to grab focus. Yeah. Trust it. Shutter speed up. Let's go.
Nice.
And luckily, I got off. I think 2 passed by a couple times and that was it. But I love this frame.
Yeah,
with the
same
foot
here.
Up. There was the waves, a couple times the little ripples would come in and kind of like, be too much distraction. But this was just calming off when this guy came through that I think it works.
Oh,
I
for sure. No, I love it. Yeah. It's great depth. No, I love everything about it, man. Yeah. It's got that wide feel, but isolated, like a nice mid-range. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it feels
totally.
like.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Definitely.
Ooh, black-bellied. Nice.
So then, so after the light died down, like that section was a little bit lower, so I wasn't getting any more light there, but I knew in behind there's like this little shallow pond that kind of fills up sometimes at high tide. So the tide was a bit higher at this point. I moved over there. And actually, dude, I was telling you about it. There was like 2 long-tailed ducks that, for whatever reason, which I've never really seen there before, were kind of up on this little beachy area, shoreline. They were preening and stuff. So I tried moving in at them to kind of just get something. Of course, ducks being ducks. Yeah. They kind of went and moved off. But then this plover was in the area and I could tell, I'm like, oh, he's getting flighty. I bet he's going to kind of go, and then just kind of nailed a shot as he was going by in some nice light. So that was cool. Yeah.
What was the deal with these guys were just cruising around out there too?
So I forgot to mention those. Yeah. So when I think it was like one of the first shots I took when I got there, I kind of got myself in position, lid down. Dude, these 3 loons were like curious as anything and just kind of just came right over. I guess they were like, well, what is that just slid down?
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat to see 3 together out in the bay like that. So
yeah, nice lineup, and I love those kind of cool little blue colors.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I mean, I'm always stickler with the water. Like I wish everything is glassy calm, but it's a bay. Like it's rare. It's calm there. So
I know, and like I don't know. I know you are, but like, don't you think there's something about it? Like sometimes, like it sets a little bit of a mood there. Like, yeah, I get it. If this was like the same light and glassy, there'd be a reflection and all that. But I don't know, man. Like it's not like it's distracting in any way. You know, they stand out great. Like I know the photo could be elevated without it, but it still works.
Yeah. I think to me, it's like this water is just on a border for me. I either want it like rocky, so it's like waves, so it's almost like, you know, they're depth. Hiding and they're looking over depth. You know, like this here, if it was any more like calm, ripply, I would not like it all. So this is kind of like borderline for me. Yeah. You know, but I think it works.
Yeah.
Well, it was a neat little shot.
That's why you are Brad James, right? You got those. You're a stickler for that stuff. No, I mean that for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So main reason I kind of was in the area, I think I made 1 or 2 outings to try to look from, had like no success, dude. And then, so, you know, I'm there with family as well. So they decide they want to go to Clarenville. So it's like an hour, 15-minute drive from Terrenceville.
Okay.
Kind of just do some shopping and whatever. So we did a full family day. And as we're cruising back, I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, you know, I even said to him, I'm like, you know, if we can make it happen, I'd love to get back just like in time for time, right? So, you know, anyways, things worked out. And as we're cruising back through,
things worked out. You were driving. You're like, get in this car now, and we are going.
Let's go. Yeah, flying down the highway, right? But what's really cool, and I think, you know, this is something that, you know, building up your field craft and understanding certain things and signs to look for. So typically when I drive down through the main road that heads into Terrenceville, I'm always looking on the shoulders of the road because there's a lot of buildup of sand. And when the caribou are active in the area, a lot of times you'll actually see footprints all along the edges of the road as they're kind of like cruising from one different spot to the other or opposite side of the roads, going from one barren to the other. Yeah. So the day we drove out, 0 sign. Even Janelle was like, oh, wow, like there's no footprints. Like I wonder if there have been in the area.
Yeah.
So then as we were driving through that evening, footprints everywhere. I'm like, oh, they're here.
Nice.
So dude, the words weren't even out of my mouth. And there's a particular pond way, way off that sometimes when it's really warm, they kind of hang in this area. When I looked off, bang, here was 2 up on this like little ridge. I'm like, we're going. Flying home, right? I'm like as quick as I can. Even we had our Janelle's niece in the vehicle, and she's like, because as soon as we got to her, I'm like, hey, everyone out, go.
Get rid of this pesky family.
She said to Janelle in the map, she's like, what's wrong with Uncle Brad? Why is he so mad? She's like, why is he telling everyone to get out of the vehicle? So anyways, long story short, I beat it back. I get into these guys like, so there's, I'll give like a full disclosure area. So there's a particular building that's on the side of the road that it's like a massive like warehouse thing, and they fill it with salt for the wintertime to kind of fill the roads. And this is, I think, the reason why they love to hang in this area, because there's no closed doors. Like they literally, the caribou could walk in there if they want. But I think what happens, dude, I think the winds and sometimes the rain and stuff will kind of like wash some of this down the area and like blow it out onto like the leaves and all the grasses. So I think they're like eating and getting some of the salt that's probably on the leaves and such. So yeah, dude. So I don't know if like, I think I put the video there if you want to like bring that up.
Yeah.
So when I walked down to this particular area, just like a dirt road that kind of goes out and like a lot of ATV cars. So when I walked down, all of a sudden they were like up on this little tiny ridge. And this guy, I think he like got confused because the other one that was in the area, even though it had antlers, I'm pretty sure it was a female.
Yeah.
She kind of like dipped down over this ridge and he was so busy eating. And when he looked up, I literally, dude, feel like he was like, oh, there she is.
Yeah.
And started to come towards, because I've had him walk like in a curious manner, but this was more like as I backed up, he was like, "Oh no, don't leave me." Like he started to pick up his pace, and I'm like, "Oh shit, this guy's gonna come aboard me," realizing like, he's not. This is not the female once he catches my scent, right?
Oh, that's so.
Anyways,
funny.
It was just really neat to have him come so close. So then, dude, it was just like work with the light. So I spent majority of my time like just like because I had the 500 and I was just getting like kind of different headshots and playing around. There was one, the third one,
the sneeze,
that one there. The sneeze, oh dude, like I had him all framed up and all of a sudden he just went like this and I'm like, I hope I caught that because I knew it was going to be backlit. So it was just, I got about 4 or 5 frames of like just this big blow out of his nose.
So funny,
right?
I noticed that one.
So
and
cool
the bugs here and just the light.
All the bugs.
Yeah,
it was just super, super nice. It wasn't an area like, it was one of those moments where I'm like, stuck with this stupid 500. Why did I take the 500? I was just in such a panic rush to get out there. Yeah. But I really don't think the environment just kind of was conducive to a wider kind of shot. It's just weird where they were kind of spending most of their time. It was like in this one little pocket. I was higher in my elevation a lot of the time, so it just wouldn't have worked great.
Yeah.
So shot a bunch with him. Then the female came back and she was like, got wind of me kind of thing. So so she kind of was like giving me that look like,
they're
I don't
so
know
cute,
what
man.
you are. Yeah, they're so adorable.
I think so.
But she was like, I'm not having nothing to do with this dude. So she started to make her way down into the barrens. So I basically like looped back where that guy was kind of coming up that path, looped back around. And there was like, a layer of alders kind of between me and them in the barrens.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to try to get out in the barrens. I knew I would have spooked them all together. So I just walked the barrens. And so that's the next set of like shots of like, that's her kind of coming through. And then all of a sudden they walked to the edge of that pond that I was mentioning before. Yep. And they just stayed there for long enough. And I just shot here through some of the alders to kind of give a bit of texture and some fun stuff. And then this guy just paused the next one. And I was like, this is and dude, this is like my hands up, flip screen.
It. Yeah.
But just to get his antlers kept touching the top of it. And I'm like, it was pissing me off. And all I could picture was you doing that same technique. I'm so glad I've seen you do it. I'm like, flip screen down, 500 off. I'm like, yes.
It's the best.
Now I got it. Yeah. So so grateful for that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they just went on. That was it.
That's
then
cool,
they
man.
just kept going. I was like, there's no way. I mean, dude, you've seen how fast they move. It's like once they're moving.
No, they don't have to be going that fast. If they're just continuing to go, you're never getting ahead of them. Like the best you could do is keep up.
Crazy.
And then all you're doing, you're like always shooting behind or anything. So it's stupid. You just like, if they're moving, you're like, forget it. Yeah. No. Yeah, and exactly. You just feel like they're constantly like going to push them. So it's like when they start moving, you're like, all right, well, that's that. Yeah.
Yep.
Totally. Yeah.
And then in true Caribou fashion, I think I caught one glimpse of another group one morning, and that was it.
Wow.
They were gone. Like it's just wild how this stuff they have such massive ranges that you just got to be out there and kind of keep an eye and see if they show.
But when it hits like this, it's amazing, man. It sure is. Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
They're
I've
definitely
very grateful for.
They become a favorite animal for sure.
They
especially
do.
like this last recent time. Killer stuff,
definitely.
Dude. All right, so
Thanks,
Emilie and I have been spending some time in some really amazing places. So just a couple of shots. This is actually from where we did photograph the caribou. Just some beautiful light. So I'll start with just the caribou experience. So we went there early just to be able to photograph and kind of scout. And I knew where they were expected to be based on my past times there, but I can't ever help it. I'm always like, I want to get there and just make sure, see if I can figure out new patterns or anything like that, right? And so, dude, like classic workshop fashion, you've heard some of this, but, sharing with everybody watching here. We get there, first day rained out. We just stayed in the van, got some work done. And then next day cleared. So we had 2 or 3 days. I don't remember, whatever. It's all a blur. A couple of days. We go out. right where they've been, right? So every time I've been out there, they've been in this one general area, and boom, they're right there. We have some amazing light like this. This is a handful of shots from basically all of the experience. Some of them previous to workshop, some of them after, or during the workshop, I should say. But we get amazing light, amazing encounters. They're super friendly, and that's the thing why we've gone here.
So nice.
Is, the mist back there was just like the mood that day. And it's a bummer. I kept thinking I wanted one far away so I could get more of that in play. But when they went back there, you can see here a little bit, right? There's like all these just driftwood sticks and everything.
Debris.
And they just got lost in there. So it was like, this was the best I could come up with. But this particular herd is super acclimated to people. Like to the point of where if you lay down, they either completely ignore you, and it's like, if I'm going this direction and you happen to be there, it's going to keep going. It won't go around you. It won't move over. It's just going to keep going where it's
bump
going.
You out of the way.
Dude, that's what it feels like, right?
Wild.
They ignore you so much. You're like, am I even here? Like, that's what it feels like sometimes.
Wow.
Or they're genuinely curious. Or you get the ones that's curious that like comes right at you, and is like, what's going on there? And I mean, when you get that experience with them, like it's magical, dude. Like there, and you can see Emilie standing there right there, and they're just foraging away, eating in front of us. Like they're not even there, man.
Question for you is, I don't know if I've ever asked you, like your first, which I know this wasn't the case, it was a year or two ago, but your first time ever having that happen to you, where a caribou came up to you, was it nerve-wracking for you? Were you? Because I mean, I know you don't have a ton of experience. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, intimidating. Because I wasn't sure. The first time it ever happened, it was a male with one female there, and so I was like, is he like a little defensive here, and I knew like they're still in velvet. I know it's not like really the rut season because they're not really getting into the rut until they lose the velvet and stuff like that, but there can still always be like some protective tendencies, who knows. And I'd never spent much time, so at first I was always like, ooh, like, but then the more time I spent around, the more I realized like it's more of a ignoring thing than anything. And when they do come close at you, it's a curiosity thing. Like they just genuinely want to like sniff you, and like, I'll share, and you're going to see some close shots here, right, guys? We don't approach them, right? I mean, we approach within like a normal shooting range, and then we just settle down. And if they come to us, then that's that, right? Well, I'm not trying to like go running in at 24 millimeter, and as you'll see, even wider. I mean, in fact, you can see here, this is 10 millimeter. Not that he's close. But we let them come to us. And so Emilie had an experience during this trip where a young one came over and like sniffed her leg and then like nuzzled her leg, like just pushed his head against her. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then just went on about his thing. And like what we've learned too is like, as soon as they do come within that close ranges there, it's like, just freeze, just hold still. Like, cause if you make a quick move, it freaks them out. And so it's actually like, it's going to freak them out more if you like stand up to try and get away, right? So we just sit there, we hold still. Any movement is really slow. They come over, they sniff, they move on, and then like they'll just walk right by. And I had some that you'll see a photo coming up. I had some like this where I was laid down with the 10 millimeter, so you know how close this was, right? And he's walking straight at me, and I'm like, that's intimidating. But I'm like, you know what? I've experienced this before. I feel confident in this. Just hold my place here, and just sure enough, just like a little bit to my left, and off he goes. And I didn't even move. Like once he got to the side, like I'm just let him walk, and completely chill, like no sign of aggression or any fear or any of that stuff, right? It's just like, it's just like, be smart about it, right? Just stay calm, and like they're not trying to mess with you, you're not trying to mess with them, you just let them move through your space, and then you let them get a safe distance away where you feel like you can move without freaking them out, and then we'll go around again in the direction they're going and try and get some walking towards us, and then it might repeat again, right? Like, so that's basically our approach. Dude, this one drove me nuts, man. This sucker was not holding still. I was like,
you just kept having
like
to
head
move,
down, up, moving, like walking. Like I was like up, down, line it up, he moved up, down, line up, get. It's just like over and over. And like, with this stuff, like with the sun in it, focus is a nightmare. Like, and so it was a pain, but I finally got a couple that worked out, and I was just like, ooh, man,
it's
like,
really nice.
Maybe one of my favorites.
And You know, it's funny, like there's part of me is like, oh, I wish his head was like right in it, like in totally in cat, but there's something about the fact
glow.
that cloud above was so dark that the antler is just like, and I love that. I love that, you know, like it's almost like a good mishap that happened. You know what I mean? In the sense that like,
well,
you wish his head was right in it, but
I do.
Oh, do you
down
really?
in the sun, and it doesn't have the glow, and I like the glow better. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
totally.
Something about it special. Really nice.
But yeah, exposure was a little extreme on that one, right? 32,000th of a second, F14, 64 ISO. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So just had to get. I mean, that sun was still bright, even going through all those clouds. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And so anyway, just beautiful light and everything. And then in classic workshop fashion, the clients show up 2 days before the clients show up, just disappear. We can't find them. Cannot find them.
You were in a mad scramble. Yeah.
Dude, so stressful, right? And I know it's wildlife. Like here's some example of how friendly they are. Yeah.
Right.
I know it's wildlife. I know everybody understands that, but you know, like it's just like, why this timing? Why are they here perfectly when it kind of doesn't matter because it's just me and Emilie? And then when I need it to matter more, just felt like they vanished. Long story short, we ended up finding them. We had a great time. Everybody got an amazing experience. They were thrilled with the whole workshop. But it's just like the stress level. I'm like, could you just have been a little bit easier, you know? And then also like
Ray got a few gray hairs.
Yeah, we had beautiful light as you saw, right? Workshop shows up, clouds, rain, everything. Thankfully, we had a day of sun too. But I'm just like, gosh, come on.
But
anyway,
wildlife photography.
These guys were really friendly. You can see this one was in there checking out the 400 millimeter, sniffing it and like checking it out. And then I was like, I could tell in that moment that it was going to be fun. So I threw on the 10 and tried to. Then most people are going to laugh. The goal was to make these look silly, right? And so here you go.
I love
just
it.
like playing with the extreme distortion that lens does, and just making the proportions look silly.
But I love the cleanliness of everything else. So that does stand out. You know what I mean? Like everything is so parallel, like so perfect, that clean line in the back. And it's just like, just absolutely silly.
And then it came too close, right? So it's like that.
I love that one.
The next shot is just in the lens. Like he's just basically touching it, right? It's just like nothing I could do about it. So fun and completely out of focus.
So
like it's too close for the 10 to focus on, which was pretty wild.
Like, the antlers looks like something you'd buy in a store. Those fake, like, you know what I mean? Like something you put on your head with the,
I know, right?
with the band thing on.
It looks like somebody's got a headband of antlers on there. Yeah.
Yep.
The proportions are wacky.
Silly.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So fun.
That light.
Young one, dim light, just like looking over. These were long lens again, right? 400 mil. Just whenever they're resting like that too, it's like important for me. Like that's not when I'm ever gonna approach and try to wide angle because I don't want to force them to stand up and stop resting. And a lot of the time when they're laying down, they're re-chewing their food, right? So they're working on digestion and stuff. It's like important not to mess with them, you know.
Definitely.
And then this was during the workshop, we had the one like cruise right in on us, which was pretty cool. But for the most part, especially with the workshop people, we stayed back. They're starting to do a little bit of touching with the antlers. It was like slow motion, just like the lightest touches, but you can see it's, you know, in a month it's
coming.
It's going to be a little bit more forceful, you know? So that was cool.
Definitely.
But we had just some big boys and playing with high key. This was the last evening one of the last mornings with the clients. We had some beautiful morning light.
Nice.
So had some fun with the glow there and just played with some side light and getting dramatic there. Yeah. But again, keeping the distances with all this, especially with a group, you know? The Caribou stuff was amazing. And then the other part of that, in between, I guess, actually before everybody got there, I did some shorebird shooting, which by the time this comes out, the video of some of these shots will be out. I did record a new, point of view, behind the scenes video of me shooting some of these shorebirds. But it was nice. Turnstones, common terns, stuff like that.
The red knot's nice.
Yeah, love
like
the red knot.
shot.
That was a nice surprise to see, and some pastels. And then that same morning, there was like this weird rainbow spot in the clouds, so that was really cool.
Nice.
And then just playing around with some flying stuff. And then this was with the clients.
That one's
Yeah, before
That's so cool.
Before we found the caribou the one evening, it was just like, all right, let's go find what else is around. And so this one area was busy with common terns flying, a couple of shorebirds, and these gannets offshore were constant. And so all of a sudden, dude, out there, like they all just started hitting. There must have been a school of fish. It was like just one after the other, diving. And I was like,
nice.
Yeah, I'm going to play. Because the shots were just kind of whatever with a normal shutter speed. So, yeah. And then it was workshop
feels like a
time.
big wave. That's what it feels like. It was a big wave in the foreground as it's coming out. Yeah,
dude,
like
the
it's
surf
such a cool
I think
image.
it was the same time you were dealing with it. The surf was intense some of these days. Just massive waves rolling in and crashing. It was really, really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and then it was workshop time. Yeah, so we had we had Lori, Melanie, Michelle, and Cindy. And then Emilie was joining us most of the time. So wonderful group. Yeah, we had a great time. Here's a little bit of them out shooting. You can see some of that crazy surf back there. And then
that's fun.
Yeah, the other experience with these fox kits. And so unexpected. We didn't know about it until we got there. Found them 2 days before the workshop because we were mostly working with the caribou. But these fox kits were nuts. And so, an unfortunate thing, the locals, and I think, well, not just the locals, but some of the locals and a lot of the people going through there, feeding them like crazy. So one of the times I was out there recently, I picked up a ton of trash, like empty cans of like dog food cans and stuff like that. All this crap.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's just all this trash out there from like people dropping stuff. So I cleaned up as much of that as I could. But what happened is obviously it makes these foxes like fearless, dude. They were car fearless. Thankfully, this area, the traffic's slow. People are always looking for wildlife. So I think they're going to be okay. But dude, they would they would go to every car, right? And like they know the deal, right? They know like any car pulling by is a potential food source. And so a car comes by, they run right up to it, like looking up at it. And I mean, it's cute as hell.
Yeah.
Like watching it.
Yeah.
But you're just like, man, that feels awful. The adults, however, super, like barely ever saw them. So one parent was a clean, like a standard red. The other one was a cross. And then they ended up making there's with these kits, we had one red, two cross, and then this stunner silver.
Yeah, silver. Wow.
This guy.
Gosh, imagine you guys had all the morphs.
Every morph
that you could get here
in one.
Wow.
All together right there, and like this friendly.
So cool.
Like it was just nuts, dude.
Yeah.
And you could see they would come right up to you, man.
Yeah.
But it was actually interesting. Like if you go into the space, sit down, they're curious. They're like, "Oh, you got food?" They come over, and then within 2 minutes, they're like, "Oh, you're not giving us anything. Peace." And they would just kind of like
gone. Yeah.
Go off and do their thing.
Go have fun.
Just chasing each other around, playing, resting, sleeping, and then every once in a while, like, oh, we forgot. Maybe you have something this time, and they'll come back, So
Did
there
you
was
get
a lot
yet?
of, exactly. And then our group was telling people to stop throwing food out a couple times. Like we were trying to do our part, but what are you gonna do?
I know.
But we had amazing conditions a bunch of different times, and so just
it's always one of these things for me. It's like I don't condone feeding them. I definitely don't.
No.
But it's almost like go hide it somewhere. Like have them not see you do it. You want to give them dog food, whatever.
Yeah.
Go like tuck it in a bush so they got to go hunt and go smell it out or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like just like I said, like I'm not condoning any of it, but it's just like I wish if the people were going to do it, like you said, like now you're littering everywhere, like you're not thinking about that part of it, like you're just chucking it from your vehicle. So now, like I said, you're associating vehicle with food.
Totally.
Like get out of your vehicle, go tramps across the barren and tuck it in a bush. Let them go hunt and smell it out if you're going to do that. At least give them some effort, or you know what I mean? I don't know.
I agree.
It's just too bad.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it happens a lot, dude. It's crazy. Oh, that's really nice.
I like this one a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That one stopped it. I mean, it's on the road, but there's something about it.
Still,
storytelling.
Yeah, the light reflects, or the road is reflecting that light, which gives it this cool effect too.
Yeah. The good news was we watched one of these, actually I think it was the silver, this one evening, like late into the night. We watched him, we were following him, and we watched him go out into the space and then like full on like stalk really got something, and then hunt. Like, and it was successful too. We caught something, Yeah. So they're doing their hunting thing, but I couldn't help it, man. Like, they were so friendly. I had to throw the tent on.
I figured you would.
And get some fun stuff with that. And this guy, this silver fox was like the bold fella, right?
Curious,
he was wow. Like would come right in and like too close sometimes. Look at that.
Oof, wow.
So again, silly distortion, right? Yeah. And then we also had some moose out in the area, which was really cool. So that was nice to see. Super tough.
I like the motion. Yeah.
Only like in the darkest hour, like you could barely see any light. They were out there, right? Like the settings were really being pushed all the time, so a challenge. But this morning was the last morning of the workshop. We went out early. It was kind of cloudy, overcast, and we went out anyway. We had 8 of them in one little stretch, 8 moose, and then a couple of them like hit a ridge. I haven't even imported that card yet, so I don't have any of them to share.
Okay.
But I think everybody actually got some shots, so that was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
they're a tough animal here. Like the moose are just, they're so flighty. Like the minute your vehicle stops, they're gone. Like, they're tough for sure.
Well, and
that's cool.
The shorebird situation here. Like, my gosh, dude, these shorebirds are skittish. Whoo! I've shot shorebirds in a lot of places, but damn, they were rough. And I did have that one good outing that I recorded, but. Whew, it was, man.
Yeah. Like, they see you coming. They're
everywhere
moving.
up here. Saw them every day. Big flocks of them. Never even came remotely close to one,
Close, no.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It just wasn't happening.
Definitely tough.
Anyway, I know our show is a long one, so we got one more task to do, and that is to talk about the Wildlife Photo Chat Challenge. And so, this time it was the low-key challenge, and we got some great photos here. And guys, obviously we're just picking a favorite. We love a lot of these, I know.
There's so
especially,
many good ones.
Yeah, Prashant, you nailed a bunch of them, I got to say.
Yeah,
you really did. And everybody sharing stuff. There was even some further down here, some older photos I think got tagged. So some great stuff in the mix there. So good job, everybody. Thank you so much on that. We really appreciate you participating in this. But we did have to pick some. And so, Brad, you went with this?
And surprisingly, not by choice, not like it wasn't, it was a happy accident. I guess I picked Gnome Girl Photography again. Same as last, but this just image, it's right up my alley. Portrait style shot, but just that drama, the feel to it, and then that red from the grouse just really pops out of that whole scene, and just the light, just the way it feels, and that I love that composition where you're still seeing a bit of the tail in the back. Just such a great image and great use of light, really nice and moody. So great job.
Yeah. No, I fully agree. That really red pop is incredible, isn't it?
Oh,
and I really like seeing the. I'm pretty sure it's like the scallops of the tail in the background spread out there.
That's what I say, the background.
Yeah. That is such a nice really touch that you kind of get to see a little bit more of the bird if you know about them, right? I think if you didn't know about that, you'd be like, oh, it's just an interesting shape back there or whatever. But, knowing the bird, you know what that part is back there. So, pretty cool.
Really nice stuff.
Yeah. Well done. I went with one from Matt Bruce here. He's got this wood duck. They're stunners always, but put them in some dramatic light like that and throw them against a black background, and it's really good. And Matt is really fun. He does a lot of what I do. He shares the unedited raw file, so you can see it right there. And then he also had a female, same thing.
Oh, nice.
High key. So there was like a nice little set here, which is kind of what gravitated me towards this one. But you can see, most of it done right in camera there. Just a little bit of contrast to add after the fact, just to clean that background up a touch there. But
definitely
great stuff. Yeah. So happy to share those. Nice. There'll be links. I mean, you can see who it is right here, but there'll be links. They'll be embedded on the page on my website, so you guys can check that. And we will announce next episode or an upcoming episode, Wildlife Photo Chat Challenge. And remember, just use the hashtag Wildlife Photo Chat Challenge, no spaces, no underscores, nothing like that, just all one word. And then they will show up here for us to go ahead and pick that. And this challenge, because of what our topic was this month, or this episode, I'm sorry, most of what we shared here was not bird photos, right? We did a lot of other wildlife this time. So that's it. We're going to keep a simple one. really wide open for
Make it easy.
A lot of people can participate in this one. Any wildlife that's not a bird. There you go, right? So we're just looking for non-bird wildlife. Doesn't matter what it is, what kind of shot. Throw us the hashtag. We'll pick out a favorite and we'll feature you on an upcoming episode. That's it.
Awesome.
I think we got through it all.
Perfect.
I mean, what?
Yeah, that was good.
Hour 18. That's not bad. That was a lot of stuff in hour 18 right there.
It was.
Right?
Yeah, it was. Crammed it in.
Yeah, we certainly did. And we teased a little bit for upcoming episodes. And same thing as always, guys. Keep the comments coming. Let us know about some of your favorite images here in the comments as well. We always appreciate that. It's nice getting that interaction. And we will. Anything else you want to add, Brad, before we wrap it up?
No, again, thanks. I really appreciate you letting Lily come on. That it meant a lot. So
that was really fun. I think everybody's going to enjoy that.
That was really great.
She did a great job too. I love hearing her perspective on some of that stuff.
Yeah,
definitely. That was really cool.
She was a bit nervous about coming on first, but I think
she did awesome. Yeah, she did great. She did so good. I don't even have to cut it and edit it. I really appreciate that. So thank her.
made your life easy. Yeah, for sure.
Totally. Yeah, I'm always happy about that.
Here's a question to ask the viewers. I would love to hear out of her set. What was the favorite that you guys liked out of her set? And I'll let her know.
Yeah. Let me let's do that now.
Which image really stood out to everybody?
If I can get my cursor to
I'm
work
sure
here.
she would. And I think I'm actually going to start an Instagram account for her so she can start sending some of it and kind of get into the community a little bit and see all the other, work that's out there, inspire her a bit more and spark the interest a bit more. So I think I might start up a Instagram account for her.
So there we go. There's the
let us know.
There's the photos there.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear. I'm sure she would too.
Share a favorite, guys. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah,
thanks so much, everybody.
Definitely.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Everyone. Take care, everybody.